Oh, I think we got it.
We got it?
I think we do.
Ms. Moose, you checking the video?
Hey, go check the video, Moo. It says we're live. Hey, so we better do our...
Yeah.
Hey, we're live. Get out.
Thanks, Moose.
Thanks, Moose.
Thanks, Moose.
What a great technical support team we have.
Oh, my goodness.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Up until 5 seconds before all this goes down, it was looking pretty dismal, wasn't it, Lee?
Oh, man. I thought that we were going to have a repeat of last...
We were
last
spiraling down in a corkscrew of death.
Yeah, but luckily,
Spiral.
we got control of the vehicle, put in the throttle.
Yeah.
Pulled it out.
Yeah.
Life is good.
Life
Yeah.
is good.
So, I mean,
Hey,
actually, and hey, yeah, hey, well, I'm looking, I don't know, the camera's over there.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, guys. It looks, it's looking good. At least, see, this picture over here looks better than that picture, and I hope the picture at home looks all right. So,
Yeah, let us know. Let us
Yeah.
know in the comments, how does the picture look?
I'm getting, hey, the video works. Yeah, we have video this time.
And now they'll be like, hey, wow, really didn't need to see that.
You guys
yeah.
look terrible. Do you ever
So
shower?
old.
Shower.
Oh, man.
I don't
That's
know.
all the airplanes
It
were
is
meant
kind of
for.
sweaty out there.
Yeah.
So, hey, today is Thursday.
Yes. Happy Thursday, everybody.
Yes, it's been a crazy week again.
Every week is a crazy week, but it's always a different kind of crazy.
Oh, yeah. It's been
That's
like
true.
an awesome, cool, crazy.
Yeah. What was your favorite part of the week?
My favorite part of the week is tomorrow.
It's tomorrow.
So it wasn't a was, it is. It's going to be tomorrow. Why is that?
I'm trying to think.
Come on
We're going
now.
to do some hot wire cutting.
Oh, wait.
Family Friday, fly days.
So wait, hot wire cutting. How are we going to do hot wire cutting?
Because we have foam.
We have foam. Okay.
We have 4x8 foam blocks. But
And-
it's not
and we
about me
gotta-
right now. It's about you.
No, it's not about me. Hey, so he's talking about hot wire foam,
Hot Wire Foam Factory.
Hot Wire Foam Factory, which is not a sponsor, but if you're listening and you want to be a sponsor, hit this man up over here and bring your checkbook.
They are a partner, and
They
they
are,
are
yes.
a dear part of Flight Test because now we have a whole new chapter of Flight Test up and in the mezzanine. If you guys have watched social media, Stefan, why don't you tell them what we got?
Yeah, so
Nice.
we actually just did a post yesterday. So our good friends over at Hot Wire Foam Factory, they're a company actually out in California. They make hot wire foam CNC cutters.
But
Yes.
they're not sponsoring this episode.
No, but they're not
No.
sponsoring this episode. No, but
But if
they
they
did.
want to,
They
they
did
could.
partner with the channel. That's true.
That's
They
it.
did partner with the channel. They hooked us up with a giant, and I'm not like. I'm not being facetious when I say that. It's huge.
Like we could lay you down on it
Yes.
and like
And cut them into little
slice,
pieces.
yes,
Yeah.
Stefan.
No, thank you.
You don't want to do that.
Yeah, we'll skip that
sounds
part
terrible.
of the
Gotcha.
gist. But yeah, so they are out in California. They make these systems. One big thing I want to make note of is actually they build. Get this, they build every single machine, test it, unbuild it. Right.
Disassemble.
There it is. That's the word.
Unbuild. I like unbuild.
I like unbuild way better.
That's what we do outside when we fly planes.
Yes, we unbuild them.
We don't crash them. We just
Yes.
unbuild them.
They disassemble it, put it in a box, which looks pristine, by the way. They put it in a crate and they ship it to you. So every single time that you get a product from them, it's already been tested, approved, works, and ready to go. Essentially,
And that's a good thing because guess what? It's up and running. We sent Dave, the man, the jack of all trades.
myth,
we
the
said,
legend.
Hey,
The
put this,
Renaissance man.
we put all the pieces up on the upper mezzanine at manufacturing and said, Dave, can you put this together and get it running? And he came back and he goes, okay, they're together. I'm like, cool. We're going to test it. And he goes, oh, yeah, it's right here. And he hands me a logo,
Yeah.
HWFF. And then later on, the Gremlin came and we were running around finding any
And
scrap
an
of foam
FTCA.
in the FTCA.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was suddenly our whole world opened up. And there's a good reason for this.
yes,
We told people when we hit 2 million subscribers, we're going to build a monstrous airplane. I think I keep saying bigger and bigger. It went from 16 foot to 18 foot. Now I want to do a 20 foot B-17.
Oh my goodness. I thought it was like 45.
No. We're not going to fly in this one.
No.
But we can't just do that off foam board. We could, but it would last one flight. Kind of be reminiscent of like the C-31 or C-130, I mean, where, you fly it, but then it's just kind of squishy,
Yeah.
We want
Somebody
this
wanted
last.
to buy that too.
Yeah, trust me, you guys don't want to do that.
Dude, he was like saying, I mean, because Stefan gave him a price. Like,
yeah.
a
He's
big-
adamant. He was
yeah,
adamant.
No, I want
Yeah.
it. I want it.
He's
How
not,
about-
he's not adamant anymore.
I haven't heard back from him.
But
Yeah.
hey, we told him like, what was it, $25,000 or something, and he's like,
Something similar to
okay.
that. Yeah.
Let me
it was
get
crazy.
with my partner. And,
Yeah. Yeah.
all right.
Well, yeah. Long story short, now what we can do is we can take the long machine, which can do 4x4 bait blocks. We can build huge, monstrous contraptions, and we can dream bigger, do bigger.
Mhm.
But also, what I'm really excited about is there is a huge deficit of building materials for scratch builders. Obviously, we love foam board, but EPP, Depron, those kind of things. We want to make sure that the new site of our store is a place that not just celebrates flight test designs, but also the scratch builder. So we're trying to make our store a place where if you're into any aspect of scratch building, we're here to serve your needs.
Yeah.
And that means bringing other materials other than foam board into our store. And a really cool way to do that is to get different materials, EPP, Depron, those kind of things.
Mhm.
And we'll have the ability now where we can slice those and make different thicknesses, because a lot of times people want to build out of 1-inch thick EPP for like a main fuselage piece.
Right.
Yeah, you know me.
You can't get that easy. And yes, I do know you, my good friend.
So
But,
you say they can't get it that easy. Is there like a shortage? I know there's like a bean shortage and a potato
I
shortage
think
and
there's an EPP shortage.
Yeah.
I think EPP is made around, but the problem is if you want to get the stuff sliced and stuff, with all the different logistical issues in
Mhm.
America, but also with docks off the ocean, a lot of different hobby, wings and things like that weren't able to come into the U.S. because
Right.
you got to get shipped there from China. How cool is it that we can get raw materials from America, we can block it up, we can cut it out, and we can start offering raw supplies, but also in the future, some really cool kits. So we're branching out a little bit. We tried the P&P, with the Widgeon and the Freedom Fox. We learned a lot. I think scratch building is our lane, and I want to
Mhm.
make sure if we're going to be in that lane that we really fill it out well. But then also, when we talk about building a big monstrous airplane, we can build a big monstrous airplane.
Yes.
Matter of fact, tomorrow we're going to be cutting a big monstrous airplane.
We're gonna start, yeah.
Yes.
So a couple
Boom.
before we get to that,
Yeah,
and make sure you put a pin in that so we get
That's
back.
a teaser.
We get
by the
back
way.
to that. But you said that we tried the PNP and had learned some lessons and everything. What do you think the biggest lesson that we learned
Oh my gosh.
with that?
We definitely aren't short on vision for hobby products and stuff. One thing that's my personal failure that I really didn't take for credit is when we manufacture and design a plane in house, we have our fingers on every single aspect of that project.
Mhm.
When you design an airplane and go overseas for it, there's certain things that you can't touch, you're not aware of. And in my aspect, my failure was I didn't know what those were. So the areas that were missing, the packaging of the airplane, the quality, that kind of stuff, that didn't bite us until it bit our community, and that breaks my heart.
Yeah.
So that was our learning lesson, and unfortunately, the community gave us grace through. But I mean, shame on me if I try that too many different times. Also, in today's world, like I don't want to have to put things in a container and bring them over and wait on that and then have rushes. I want to be able to say there's a need of the community and there's a need in the hobby right now. Design around that, develop around it, and I was really humbled with how much time it takes to do this. And hats off to all the other manufacturers that do it, that have people, in China and different parts of the world, being able to keep their fingers on it.
Right.
I just don't think that's us too well. But the Widgeon, Rockstar, we do have the version 2 of the Freedom Fox with a 2814 motor.
Which is a beast.
It's a beast.
Yeah.
And we're going to have a limited run of 100 of those. Problem is we can't put them on a container and get them here. So I don't know when and where those are going to show up. But we did take all the community's feedback and really made an awesome version 2 that I think will honor Trent and really celebrate everything the Freedom Fox was supposed to be. But after that, we'll take a real good step back and say, what are we doing in the future? And for me, where my heart is, building and flying together is the hobby.
Yeah.
I have nothing against people going to the hobby shop and purchasing and unboxing it and flying it. But the relational aspects, all the different things that you get to do when you're actually building, is something I think needs to be celebrated. And I think that our community and flight tests in general do a really good job of making that look attractive. It's not easy. It's not necessarily even the most, it doesn't get you in there quickly, but when someone builds their own airplane, they fly, they know how to repair. And that gets them through so many hurdles. So I'm really passionate about that. I want to develop it. And if I'm going to put energy into something, it's not trying to figure out what other people do well. It's going to be figuring out this hole right here.
So you would say, as my kids and the hip crowd say, we need to stay in our lane.
Stay in the lane. Yeah. Just do better with it. And
DIY, scratch build, and just kill it.
yeah, and it doesn't mean that I'm not passionate about other things, but you know how much I love STEM.
Yeah.
You know how much.
Man.
Yeah. I mean, imagine what would the build tents look like if scratch building and building didn't exist at Flight Fest.
Well, I mean, you're absolutely.
They wouldn't.
They wouldn't.
They wouldn't.
Right.
We wouldn't have to like next year at Flight Fest. We're gonna have to add
A whole other tent.
a whole tent. So we're not only we have like 2 build tents and the
Yeah.
STEM. We're gonna have 3 build tents, and so you're talking about STEM though. I mean, so STEM is huge.
Yeah.
And we even had a meeting yesterday talking about some STEM and everything, and what it is that we want to do as a company to make sure that our approach to STEM is in that DIY lane.
Yeah. Yeah. So many times people, what they call STEM is really unboxing a toy and getting a grade. We don't want to do that, man. We want to make sure the kids obviously get every one of the core standards, met that are required to be STEM, but also that they just get lit on fire,
Right.
and fall in love with this hobby and with flight in general. And then they take that love home to their families. So we're not just designing something to meet a criteria to get us an opportunity. We want to design an experience that really just changes hearts and minds and lights a fire. And
And actually educates kids on what
Right.
what to do, how to do it, and learn something through it.
So for the next generation, I mean,
Right.
we've got this this aviation boom that's happening not only here, but I mean throughout the
Whole world.
world. I mean, we're in contact with some countries in Africa of all places. I never would have thought that. I mean, it just keeps coming up country after country. I mean, hey, did you hear about this? And oh yeah. So
such a cool thing. I mean, with Flight Test, we're a global community,
Yeah.
which means it's not just stuff in America, but it's stuff worldwide. And I got to constantly train my mind to think about that. Like, God bless you guys in every part of the world that take time to build and to fly and to watch our episodes and videos. We want to bring STEM. We want to bring educational programs, things that people can learn off of and develop passions and career paths off of.
oh,
That's
for
exactly
sure.
right.
Yeah.
Hey, one of the comments here we got coming in.
Oh, cool.
First, it says, Lee, you are awesome. Thank you.
He is awesome.
No, it doesn't say that. It says you guys are awesome. Lee, you have a little bit of a pride issue. What? No. So
Dun, dun,
it says,
dun.
thank you for your content. It finally got me and my daughter into the
Oh.
RC plane hobby after 20 years of thinking I couldn't afford it.
That's wonderful.
That's
Yeah.
what it's all about. Whoop, whoop. Yeah. Thanks. What is that? Anthony Kepler.
Yeah. Thank you, Anthony.
Yeah.
And thank you, Anthony's daughter too. That's you just hit our love language. It's the fact
Yeah.
that it's a parent and their child connecting around this.
Oh,
it's
man.
not something that's isolating them.
Yeah, because it's at the end of the day, the planes are just a tool. We say it all the time.
Yeah.
It's about the connection with people and everything. I mean, it's about the people, not the planes.
Oh,
Truth.
man. Fantastic. I love it.
So you were before we got off on that
Yeah.
little stint there, you were talking about a little teaser or something we're going to be doing tomorrow. Something that Stefan just got back into the office here.
Yeah, sure.
He's been running around all over Northeast Ohio, getting some fun stuff to start on.
Stefan is our long haul truck driver.
Yes.
Yeah, he's got the hat for it.
He does.
Welcome. Wow.
Can you go? Woo, woo, ma, ma?
So talk about at the beginning of this week we did not have a hot wire cutter machine ready to operate. By I think Tuesday or Wednesday, I was starting to get my hands on the software to design airplanes. We decided in an episode coming up in the near future, November we're bringing back the Legacy.
We are bringing back.
We are bringing back
Oh,
the
man.
Legacy, and one of the biggest hurdles with the Legacy was the landing gear that we had for it is now just simply too expensive to justify putting on an airplane, which means the cost would go up ridiculous, and then the shipping size, which shipping's going like crazy, it makes the shipping size so big that it's just we're trying to make it economical for people.
Right.
So Dave designed an awesome 3D printed landing gear that's going to be freely given for people so they can still scratch build the Legacy.
You mean the file is going to be
The
freely
file
given?
is the
Right.
landing gear is not going to be free given. The
No.
file to print your own
Right.
is. And it's just a really cool, clever landing gear.
Are we going to give that through that's going to be an FTCA giveaway, or is that going to be
I think it's going to be in everything. 'Cause the
Everything?
Legacy is
Okay.
just
Standard.
out there.
Standard, okay.
We'll get it out there. yeah.
Awesome.
And that's going to give people the ability to scratch build Legacies, but also we'll be able to bring back the speedboat kit. at a slightly cheaper price even.
Nice.
Because now we don't have this crazy big metal landing gear.
Boom.
We did
Boom,
so many
shakalaka.
bad things to this 3D printed landing gear, and we ended up actually ripping the wood out of the fuselage.
Mhm.
So
I remember that.
I have the utmost confidence, man, that this landing gear is going to take what people give it and,
Nice.
and bring back the legacy. Well, long story short, wow, I rabbit trail.
Just
Okay.
talk. It's a
Just- okay.
podcast. This is
Okay.
the whole
Okay.
reason we're doing
Well,
this.
I feel like I'm just wasting people's time. Okay.
You know what? If you're wasting their time, you know what they can do?
They leave.
They leave.
Well,
That's
that's
right.
a problem. I want
They
to
can just shut off. I mean, that's
So we were sitting, yes, was it just 2 days ago? We were sitting around talking about what are we going to be doing through November for content and everything.
Mhm.
And it quickly morphed into, okay, we're releasing a legacy. Let's celebrate that. And then my desire was always to have a big legacy, because a legacy is nothing but a twin engine version and a versatile version of the Telemaster, which is frankly the plane that really was my childhood. You know, I
Mhm.
built 4 of these things, 8-footer senior Telemasters. I would fly shows, tow gliders, do all sorts of crazy bad stuff with the thing. I want a big legacy. And we decided to settle on a 16-foot twin engine legacy that we can then use during the summer to
16 feet.
16 foot. And
I'm just trying to figure out where we're gonna keep
well,
this.
and that's part of the beautiful part too. We got to engineer that, don't we?
Yeah.
Pilot Institute.
Pilot
Pilot
Institute.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Once the
So,
wedding's done.
see this table right here. Now people can too. This table right here is about 30 inches.
Yeah.
This right here is the wing cord of the
This is how,
legacy.
this is how fat.
How fat is
30,
going to be?
30-inch
the
wing
wing
cord.
Are we like going to like take puppies on plane
No, we're not
rides?
allowed to do that anymore.
Oh, okay.
No puppies, no
No
kids, no. But what we will be able to take up is, rocket powered Flurkins.
The Flurkin
And there's a certain James.
coming to a
yeah.
store near you
Yes, there is a
in December.
there's a James Bond movie, and I know our community requested a fold wing glider similar to James Bond. This thing is going to be designed with a awesome bomb bay on the bottom. Obviously, it's twin engine, so we can put things under the wings. We can
Mhm.
tow stuff up. I want just a industrial, awesome plane. Well, foam
How
board-
much do you think it'll lift? Honestly, I mean,
So looking at the density, we're using 1 pound density foam, and that's the same density that Peter used in his ultralight. It is amazingly somewhat squishy, light stuff.
mhm.
But when you laminate it, it gets real strong. And I'm going to laminate it just with vinyl, and I have a lot of internal structure in it. But I think it's going to be able to lift easily 20 plus pounds. Easily.
Really?
Oh, I'd be
That's
surprised
nice.
if it doesn't lift 30. Problem I can't say 30 is because that'll probably put me over 55 pounds.
Also nice.
Oh, well, let's
Yeah.
get right up to the threshold
Let's
and
just-
drop a big pumpkin or a
That's it.
watermelon or a,
So
We've done that.
I know. I want to do it
it's
again.
gonna
Check
make
out-
it's gonna make Cabby look small, which is funny.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
it.
The-
Yeah,
the-
because Cabby's 11,
Mhm.
12, 11 feet.
Cabby's 12 and a half.
12 and a
foot.
half feet,
Yeah,
that's right.
and the funny thing about this one is the tail. I looked at the tail. Tail's like 24 inches by 6 feet tall.
That's awesome.
So it's gonna
6
be fun.
feet?
Yeah, and
That's like as
That's
tall as
taller
you.
than I am, just so
Yeah.
everybody knows.
so there's no way we could do this
Nice.
out of foam board. We could do it, but it would only fly once. You know, it'd be like
Yeah.
the thing like, okay, yeah, we did it, but then you come out the next morning and everything's starting to sag a little.
Right.
With the foam and the internal structure, this is going to be a forever plane, and I want to take people on the journey from designing to building to ultimately outfitting, and then have this be a permanent structure. Because now, split flaps, all the stuff. If this performs the way I think it will,
Mhm.
we're going to be able to just always pull this thing out at a moment's notice and just do fun stuff with
Oh,
it.
it's
So-
gonna be awesome. I mean,
Thursdays
we're
and
planning on
Fridays.
doing so the episodes. We can tell them. I mean,
Yeah.
the first episode is the kind of the journey to the
Mhm.
build and building it, and then the
learning
fun
hot wire cutting.
right, and then the second episode, which they're back to back in
Mhm.
November. The second episode will be more the fun type dropping and
Crazy stuff they can do with
taking Stefan up and
it.
Superman.
It's going to be big, but thanks to Stefan, he drove all the way to Cleveland today, and we got 2 4x4x8 blocks of foam. One is for Pilot Institute. We're going to be slicing the insulation foam to start finishing that off more. Oh my gosh, it's looking so good.
Yeah. Looks
It's
amazing. Thanks,
I-
Dave.
Yeah, thank you, Dave. And I can't wait for the community to see this. This is going to be a place like we talked like about it. Build nights, Bible studies,
Oh yeah.
just different
Are
functions.
we talking about the Pilot Institute? I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I was reading over here.
Yeah,
You're good.
it's going to be an incredible place, but
It
we
is.
gotta get some basic installation in before we finish off the walls.
So yeah, that's
'Cause
the
winters are coming.
the
winter's
winters are coming. So the insulation is kind of the test run of the
Yeah.
cut, because not only is winter coming with the weddings coming here
Yeah.
in less than a month.
less than a month, yeah.
We can kick our oldest kids out.
Mhm.
See you later. But that is the Pilot Institute. I can't wait because that's where we're podcast. We're going to end up being up in the mezzanine,
Yeah.
doing the podcast, and the it's gonna be sweet.
It's a great looking place.
So we got a couple things coming
Yeah.
up on here. This is a duck says, could you put some? That's his name. Or her name, whatever.
It's the duck's name.
Could you put some droppable RC planes under the wings? I think that we're planning on doing something like that.
Yeah. I think the Flurkin, as soon as we're done with this, the Flurkin design will have to be realized. And what a great way to test the Flurkin than to drop it
With rockets on
with
it.
rockets.
That'd be awesome.
We did that with the Shinden that never became a reality, and I don't want to hear another comment about the Shinden.
The
Just delete
Shinden.
everyone.
It's gonna come. It's coming.
It's
It
coming.
will
Whatever
Delete.
come.
happened to the Shinden?
Delete.
Yeah.
So we'll hit some more questions
Yeah.
here, and then we'll go into something else. But the next question is, and I don't know, I kind of understand this, but it says, while you have the CNC cutter, it's awesome. It would be amazing if you included instructions for people who wanted to do the design work, handheld bow type hot wire cutters. I mean,
Yeah.
that sounds like a lot.
Well,
So they make those.
yeah, you can buy them or you can build them, and they're incredibly cheap. They use nichrome wire. I'm going to butcher the name. Neochrome.
Yeah,
It's a special wire.
Exactly.
You can still get to this day. And
First rule about the Shinden is you don't talk about the Shinden.
My heart just breaks a little bit more every time I hear that word. Now they have a hot wire cutter, we can cut them. So
Anyways.
So long story short, you can do this. Now, what we're going to do in part 1, this is the neat thing, is we may be using the CNC hot wire cutter to cut a 4x8 block, but the principles we're going to be showing, you can instantly go over and you can cut your own templates out based off of what you design. You can pin them on both sides of the block, and you can use a bow. So we're going to be going outside that spectrum, but all the principles we'll be showing openly on how we got there is going to be in this episode, and you'll be able to collect the dots. And also,
So I'm ignorant here. So
Yeah.
what is the bow? What is that?
so imagine a bow and arrow.
Yeah. I get that.
And the wire gets super hot, and then you put a wooden or masonite template on both sides, and then you just drag the wire over
okay.
those templates, and
Okay.
you got your wing.
And then
You know what would be cool? So I don't know if who is this, Sapphire's phone, whoever said this, or somebody else. If you're good at that and you want to don't make a video, please don't make a video. Well, you can, but that's not what I'm asking. What if you wrote an article, if you had them write an article up, submit it to the not the podcast, but the website. And so guys like me that have no idea about that, maybe we can learn a little bit of something and spread that out there in the community.
And you bring up such a great point. We never pretend to know something we don't. We take people on the journey of us learning, and there is so much that we'll always need to learn. It's our community that really have the experts and the people who have been doing this for 20 years and know all the nuances that can get people over those hurdles. The articles are incredible. Incredible resource.
Oh, man.
It's not a forum post. It's not like, hey, here's what I'm wanting to do and here's what I'm doing. An article is, here's how to build your own hot wire bow, or here is how to lay up templates, or here is how to take a design and turn into this.
it's an educational tool.
It is.
Essentially.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And it might start out as like a forum post where you get some information or something, but the finished product is kind of like that term paper that you turn in at the end of the class or whatever. The
final exam.
The final exam. And you're displaying that not for the teacher to grade, you're displaying that for the class to read.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and on top of that, the bow side of things, we actually, Hot Wire Foam Factory actually sent us I think it's a hot wire knife as well.
Yeah.
So there's a whole slew of different ways to use hot wires to cut foam for your endless pleasure, which is really cool.
No doubt we'll be learning about
Yeah, we'll be messing around with all the good things.
And there's also a lot of different foams. There's expanded polystyrene in different densities.
Is that EPS?
EPS, yep. And then there's EPP, which we're going to be getting in, and that's what a lot of people do the wings off of, and they laminate, and they can hit things and never break. There's just a lot of different stuff out there. So again, I'm excited about the fact that we can kind of dream bigger and do bigger, and I always want to make sure there's something for people that's repeatable, but then there's something also that is inspiring and extreme that has a potential of either catastrophic failure or just fun.
Well, I mean, and that's, I think, when we were talking about STEM, that really sparks a lot of the STEM activity. is and I know that Jake Marshall, he's the one that does it, like the curriculum and everything. And he, when we first started talking to him, it was basically, here's a problem, come up with a solution. That was his whole, how he, did things. And with this, it's like, we have this new product, and I shouldn't say new. I mean, but it might be new
to us.
Yeah, new to us. Like, what can we do to come up with different things and overcome different hurdles and everything?
Yeah.
Where are the holes, and how can we come up with solutions for those?
Yeah.
And I love it that we can make it repeatable, and then we can make it extreme. And and a lot of people I've seen in the comments, just do something that's for entry level and stuff. And we really got to be careful. I got to be careful about balancing that out. But when we get to pull out that big, monstrous 12-foot B-17 and fly it, people get inspired. People laugh. People get to be part of that experience. And then just right now, there's a whole row of cars of people learning to fly, and we get to go out and teach them.
Yeah, here in a little bit.
So it's so much fun to go from like entry level, simplistic, repeatable, but then also show them how far it can go, and then make them part of that experience too.
Right.
And I'm really excited about the fact that what kind of grieved me with some of these big planes is when they were done for that episodes, within a month they were done. They were just nothing.
Yeah. Or they just sit around. I mean, I was thinking about that because we have up in the Pilot Institute, we're moving stuff around. There's a big C-47 that we dropped the 10-pound fruit by the foot out of. And we haven't touched it
we haven't flown it for a month.
Yeah, I mean, it's just
now people are getting mad at us.
I know, right?
It's not because we don't want to. It's because we got to make an episode next week.
Yeah,
right. And then oftentimes it's like, oh man, we need that motor. Ooh, that plane has a motor.
And also sometimes we live on those planes for 3 or 4 episodes, and you just you can't find anything else to do with them.
or they fall apart,
or they crash into them, or we blow the wing off.
Right.
What'd be really cool too is, and I think as we get more extreme now, we'll kind of go on the pace where there's something entry level, and then we make it huge, similar to what the Legacy is, and have a fun challenge with it. But now, if it's something that will never go bad, it's a timeless plane, a plane that won't wear out. That's big and extreme. We can say, you know what, we're going to sell it. And then we can take those proceeds and we can do something good with it.
Yep.
Instead of just saying, okay, I need that motor off with your head.
Scavenging.
So did I just hear that we're going to sell a plane?
Maybe.
Giant.
Not the big Legacy. That's mine.
No,
don't touch my Legacy.
I'm sorry.
I'm free thinking here, buddy.
I know. This is a beautiful part about live is because you're saying all these things, and he's already regretted. No, I don't want.
I'm saying some planes.
No,
No, we would go just some that aren't going to live on for us, but they can live on for other people.
Let's go back in time just a couple weeks and talk about Benchy. We need more. By the way, we're cheap here. We like to recycle stuff. Foam board means nothing to us. When we're done with the episode, it's like we need the motor more than we need to have a trophy. Dave and I were both ready to dumpster. Like, we pulled the motors off and we're ready to crush up these Benchies and dumpster them. But we had a flying event coming up.
They were crying the whole time.
We were.
We don't want to take the motor
But
off.
then the light bulb went off. It's like, wait a minute, there's a flying event here. We can give these away. And so we found 2 community members and they love the Benchy episodes. Like, hey, you want a Benchy?
And I think you got a picture. We'll have to post a picture of Spooner's car. Didn't you get a picture, or did I get a picture?
Oh, I think I got a picture of it.
The back of his car when he was leaving, it was piled with airplanes, and then the Benchy was just jammed in there.
Jammed in there. Yeah. And then I think Pappy got David's Benchy.
Oh, yeah.
So I think that's awesome to get rid of the wreckage, and give people a piece of that. I still feel really weird and like, we're not cocky here. Like, you really want this piece of foam, but if it's special to people, that's awesome. How cool would it be though when the day's done and that's done and it's still something they can enjoy and take out or take to their flying club? Well, that gets me more excited.
Let me say something. I mean, because I get it. I mean, we can say it is just foam board, and why would you want something like that? And I get it. I think that way, but then the thought just came into my head. Just thinking back here to Anthony and what he said. Maybe the video that just sparked what was a Benchy, or it was the whatever video and they're like, man, if I could just have that is a milestone in their, in their.
Now you're gonna make me cry.
I know, but I mean, but it seriously, because it could be it's just a trophy, but trophy, his old soccer trophies have no meaning to me, but he can tell you where he was for each one of those.
That's a good point.
I think that maybe we should
Well,
think differently.
It works very similar to how athletes when after a game they throw this kid in the front row their jersey or they sign his shoe and they give it to him,
Mhm.
or a baseball at a game that a guy hit a home run for.
Right.
It's less about what that is and more about where it came from
and what it means.
right?
Yeah.
So like this baseball meant that I was at the game with my dad. It was a special day.
Yeah.
We don't go often. I caught this with my own mitt,
Mhm.
right? I did something sweet. Plus, it was the game-winning home run for my favorite team that I've ever watched, right? So all those things kind of add up to people, and that's just kind of how a lot of people view that. And like you said, Lee, it's something in a moment in time that they can look at every day, every year, every month, whatever. That reminds them of that moment, which it's kind of like almost like a time capsule that lives on forever.
and that's what we're trying to do, really. I
Yeah.
mean, is impact the people and get to make the memories.
Well, I think that's why the planes really mean less and less to us as we grow more and more. It's not because we don't care because we're around them so much. It's because the bigger picture of what we want to do matters more.
Right.
So this is totally off the cuff. I mean, so don't, I'm going to say this, but everybody can't take this as this is what we're doing. I'm asking Josh a question.
Yeah.
So what do you think, and not to put you on the spot in front of all of your fans?
There's 12 of them there,
but he's
isn't there?
definitely putting.
No, we have
spot.
26.
Oh, yeah. Hi, guys and girls.
And girls. But what if, like, when we were ready to retire, an aircraft from said video or something, we did not a raffle where we just pick a name out, but if people wrote in and just tell the story of why they would want an aircraft, and it can't be, I just want to throw it in my hangar because it's cool. But maybe it's a story like, hey, me and my dad seen your video and it just sparked something, and we would like to keep it as a memento or something.
It'd be fun to find a mechanism like that. One of my favorite things that we had at North Camp before they made it take us down because it was a fire hazard was the remember the wall of just stories that people would send in, and when you read those things, it just hits you in the feels. The problem is if you make me cry, nothing's sacred in this place.
I know.
My wife literally will not let me in the Flight Test store during Flight Fest. She sees me walking on all whimpery. She knows I'm about to give away the store.
Right.
Yeah. It's true.
Yeah. But
It is true.
no, I would love to find a mechanism for that. And my apprehension when I scratch my head is we have a really good reality check of we're all broken, busted people getting to do this awesome thing that you've made possible for us. And so we don't ever walk with arrogance on that. We know exactly who we are.
Right.
But if it's something special to the community, it'd be awesome to find a mechanism. Hey, you're the director of business development. You can figure out how to make that happen.
All I need is the thumbs up and the go ahead,
Lee,
and
your turn.
And then I can do. I got to get the permission.
How are you going to ship a Telemaster that's 16-foot wingspan?
Well, shipping, it may be cash and carry.
Yeah, listen, you know what's gonna happen? They're gonna put me in that truck and put it in the back. I'm gonna drive all the way to freaking California in the F-150,
Right.
and I'm gonna hand deliver it to whoever you are.
So
And then I'm gonna ask you if I can have some water to go home.
Oh, man.
Right.
You know what? I think it would be better rather than writing it, writing personally to us. When we did on the FTCA site with the flight testimonies, and there's 6,000, 7,000 different stories. I think that is the place where to direct them, because it shouldn't just be something we get to benefit from reading. It should be something that everybody can look at, and then we can look in there. So, hey, guy, figure it out.
All right,
I,
Lee.
I just need the thumbs up.
How great would it be to not be tripping over airplanes here?
I'm telling
Have
you.
them do something.
You
good.
know me. I'd give them all away.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh my
is.
gosh, the Tudors. That was so much fun.
Oh, speaking of the Tudors,
Yes.
what is tomorrow?
Tomorrow is the Tudor release day. We're going to release our Tudors.
National Tudor Day.
National Tudor Days. Now, guys, and
Okay.
girls, do
And
me a
girls.
favor. When you get your Tudor, if you choose to buy and build a Tudor, I want you to share a picture of where you toot.
Where do you toot? Josh toots everywhere. So
Sometimes with planes. But no, I think it'd be really, really fun to show people flying these Tudors with their kids, with their family members, at church. Just have fun with it. You know where I'm going, right?
Stefan, where's he going?
I'm regressing to the 9-year-old. maybe
No,
even
you're
8-year-old.
digressing.
I
I'm
shall
digressing.
and will not be a part of this
So-
tomfoolery.
So Stefan is so happy for the end of this chapter because how old are your kids?
They are 10 months old, 3, and soon to be 5 this
Yeah.
next month, a month from today.
Yeah. So, I mean, potty humor is all that there is. Right
yeah,
now.
we're currently in the stage of potty talk is forbidden outside of potty time.
And then he comes here and his boss is
And then I come here and it's all potty
neck
time.
deep in it. So
Potty talk.
no, it's fun. And one thing I'm really loving, I was kind of wondering, okay, did we go too childish? It is fun to make people laugh. And last weekend during the flying event, people didn't realize it's the last podcast. And it was awesome to see how many people listen to podcasts because they showed up.
Oh yeah.
We had the most beautiful weather that we shouldn't have had, frankly.
Oh man.
Absolutely gorgeous weather when it was supposed to be rainy and gross. We had a bunch of bad foam. And as I said before, we give back in different ways that maybe not everyone can see, aka the free plans. But we ran up and we kicked off 24 kits?
Yeah, we had 24 toots going out.
24 toots.
All at the same time. We underneath the pavilion, one of the pavilions out here.
We handed them out like they're candy. And we had kids as young as probably 6, 7, all the way up to 70s.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
And we didn't just hand them out. So I mean, explain.
It wasn't grab and go here. It was okay. Come on out, and we had a table for them, and we just built as friends.
Oh man, it was awesome.
We cracked the code of my soft voice too.
We learned something in there.
So basically, I was at the table, and Lee, he's built so many tutors now. He knows how to do it. He got the guys started because I had to run off for a second, and I came back, and we kind of quickly figured out if I told him the next step, and he was the voice, everybody heard him.
Yeah,
and it was awesome.
Booming voice.
So I tried. When you would give the next step, everyone's head would go up. I tried talking, and I forget what it was. I asked a question like, "Anyone having problems?" Like 3 heads turned up. Like, did he say something?
Is there a whisper? Somebody whisper.
So now I think Lee's going to be the voice of the
butterfly kisses
of the group builds. But it was amazing. And that next day, we just did the airframes. The neat thing about the tutors, you don't need to run any push rods or anything. We did the airframes. Everyone went home with their airframes. It's about a 2-hour build. And then the next day, to see all those tutors flying through the air.
Oh man, that was awesome. And that helped us with a little bit of kind of figuring out the last final touches and everything.
It's always peace of mind. Yeah. And this is definitely, we've built the most tutors on any design. Like
for sure.
Yeah. With the tiny trainer, it was definitely the one that ruled the most. So second was Simple Cub. The easier are they are to fly and build, the more time we put into it because it has to be consistent. You have to be able to build ugly. And the tutor, we blew that number out because we probably did close to 20 before we did the live build.
I'm not sure how many you've done. All I know is that for the past, when did you start designing that airplane?
Oh my gosh.
Not way back when, but like
Just
since
recently?
the recent most date.
We have a solid probably month in it.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So month and a half, depending ish. But since that day, there has not been a day that I can think back to that a tutor has not been built, being built, starting to be built, or been
Crashed.
talking about being built or flying, and then crashed and then built again.
There's
every
one
single
out there right now. There's a fuselage and wing that I just saw.
Every single day for the past month, some type of tutor, something has been going on at this shop.
In small tutors, regular size tutors,
XLs,
big tutors.
I mean, we're talking. You can go everywhere with this.
Color tutors.
Yes. Those ones.
These ones, wet ones.
But literally, so the past 35, 40 days, literally every single day, you've seen some type of tutor-esque scenario happening. So yeah, it has to be the biggest of all time in terms of
just heart and energy.
Yeah, just stuff going on.
I hope people like it as much as we do, and I'm excited. It's just a cool, fun-looking airplane, and I think what we will see is the Cubs will greatly diminish in sales. So that was like our number 2 seller.
Yeah,
I think the tutors are going to quickly take that spot, especially when they get out in the wild.
So and also when they hit the wind.
When they hit the wind.
What I'm also hoping for, this is my own personal opinion, but I'm hoping they run hand in hand, because the plane that shall not be named, no, just kidding, the tutor, which is going live tomorrow, by the way.
Yes.
Or launched tomorrow, released on the store, etc.
We're releasing
yes,
the tutors.
we're releasing that. along with that, the Cub still has that, that iconic
Mhm.
look,
Yeah.
that iconic vibe.
Just embrace the
which
Tudor.
is why the Cubs sell so well. I mean, it's because it's one of those iconic fits.
He ain't gonna do it.
No,
he is.
but
Listen to him.
I think that overall that the Tudor 100% flies better.
Yeah.
It's easier to build. So hopefully you can grab a Tudor and you can grab a Cub. You have your iconic, but you also have your simple and your great flyer.
Yeah.
They both fly really well. But
Yeah.
that if I were to have a couple planes in my hangar, those would be 2 of the 4 plus the
You would
Scout
toot in your hangar?
and the A10. Those are the 4.
And the Cub is great flying. One thing is you can't put the landing gear where the Cub needs to be and have it look scale. So which means unless you're landing on hard surface or directly into the wind or you have short grass, you're going to flip it over.
Yeah.
Where the Tudor, we were able to put the landing gear farther forward because the lines, frankly allowed for it. So,
exactly.
It is what it is. But I'm excited for tomorrow. And also another great plane's getting released, the Texan.
The Texan.
Yes.
Yes. The Texan, the T6 Texan. Hey, before we go to the Texan,
Yes.
while we're on the Tudor,
Mhm.
we were talking about building and
Yes.
talking about everybody building with us. We're going to do a live build of the Tudor in November.
Yes. Is it Black Friday?
Black Friday.
Black Friday evening?
Yep, in the evening. It'll be like 7 to 9, I think. We'll make sure we advertise it well because there'll be, instead of having to go out shopping with your wife, you can keep the kids home, or maybe mom wants to send dad out and shopping, or they all just stay home. That'd even be better.
Whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
And you'll see some stuff on social media as things come up. More than likely an email blast, et cetera, et cetera. So
wait.
Lee just randomly, he's reading things.
reading
He's just
this thing.
randomly laughing, and we're sitting over here like,
you don't
what
know.
is going on?
I got to figure out how to put it up. So
Are people embracing the Tudor name?
Robert Bailey says, let them out or they will fester and get worse. They are coming out, and we're going to build in November. That's going to be awesome. Just like we did the Bloody Baron build.
Yep, Bloody Baron. I don't think we'll have a live community build at the same time.
No, we learned some things on that.
It was so awesome, but definitely without the volunteers, the people that showed up to do it in person would have definitely been lost.
Yeah.
And that's on me. But
it's on me. It was on the team. We learned. We got Robert's got some cameras he's going to put up, so we'll have some good angles. But that's going to be on the
improvement.
Oh yeah, that's we're learning as we go. But that's going to be fun. Building toots together, and then in so that October, that's this month, we're releasing the Tudor speedboat kit. Next month, we're going to be doing the community live build, and then in December, the free plans will be hitting the FTCA.
Yep, it's a December perk.
I will be a December perk.
Yeah, I'm excited about
for
that,
the paid. Yeah,
and just again, quick note on that. It's for the paid FTCA members, but it's $1 a month.
Yeah,
or $2.
Well, okay, so I'm going to do it. I don't care. This is
super
me.
Inexpensive.
Well, here's the deal, though. We have some FTCA members, which is fine. Hey, cool. You're good. I'm a ground crew, but that's because I don't fly. I need to upgrade because I have been flying. But we do have some people who just give the bare minimum just so they can get the free plans. Come on. I mean, really, are you really embracing?
Well, I think what you're pointing out to is not just to get the free plans for that month, but it was like, okay, I joined now. I want the backlog.
Right.
And the point is every month's perk. It's kind of like, if you went and had an AMA magazine and there was plans in that one subscription for a certain model, if you join 2 months later, they're not going to send you a backlog of every magazine.
Right.
And
that's just kind of how that works.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I know. I mean, but come on, for $2 a month.
Yeah.
What we're trying to do.
Do it.
I know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll get off that because that's just a bad rabbit hole. So, hey, a couple more things.
Yeah.
Somebody asked about they just said turbo Tudor. Absolutely. We have a turbo Tudor.
We do have a turbo Tudor. Yep. And what it is basically you take your stock Tudor. The Tudor, as it is, comes with the training wing, and it's plenty aerobatic, rolls, loops, even hover, is good. the Turbo Tudor wing is, which is sold separately, or we're doing a total package, a total
There,
Tudor package, right?
yeah, there's 3 different packages. We're
Yeah.
gonna have a bundle B, a bundle C, and then a total package. We'll have both the B and the C.
We
and
call
the
that the number 3. Just kidding. Just kidding. No, I'm sorry, guys.
But
I did it again.
the Turbo
Turbo Tudor.
The Turbo
the Turbo Tudor wing. It is an upgrade. It's an upsell or whatever you say, upgrade to it.
But wow, is it amazing?
Oh man,
You should see what Michael does. Oh, you're going to see that
Tomorrow.
You're gonna see
Tomorrow.
it tomorrow's
Actually.
episode. So yeah, we I was able to fly better aerobatically with the Turbo Tudor than I have with many other airplanes.
Mhm.
You put it in someone capable like Michael's hands,
Yes.
and I'm like, no,
oh, it's crazy.
it was nuts. So
He's like, hey, I remember in the episode, you're like, do this. He did it.
Yeah.
yeah,
Do that.
yeah. So the episode's kind of competition based, and I thought I could throw like a super long hover at Mike, and then eventually the thing, would torque out. No, he just stuck it there and kept singing. And now he's built an extra large one that runs off the 2814 motor.
Yes.
And
Oh,
I
That thing
guarantee
looks sick.
that's
Yeah.
going to become a kit too. But now, do we release the bigger toot or the tiny toot first? After this Tudor.
I like the little toot.
Well,
personally.
here's the other thing. You got to think about the time of the year, right?
Yeah.
A lot more indoor flying is going to be happening
Yeah,
here around
you're right.
here.
Mhm.
Just is what it is. So it might work better for the smaller one, but at the
Yeah.
same time, the big one is legit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So
We'll figure it out. No doubt
we'll
we'll
get
figure
there.
it out. But
We always do.
it's going to be an awesome October. I can't wait. There's still fall weather. People will be building. And then with winter coming, the floats are going to be fantastic for taking off the snow.
Yeah.
And I'm ready then to move on into getting the Legacy kicked out and then the Flurkin.
Yes.
Legacy and the Flurkin. But you did say a couple minutes ago that not only is the Tudor going to be released tomorrow, one of John's designs,
Starts with a T.
the
Texan.
Flight Test Master Series T6 Texan.
Yes. The detail on this plane is
Oh, it's
incredible.
amazing.
Yeah, and I love the fact that we can go from entry all the way up to advanced, and John just keeps upping the bar over and over and
Mhm.
over again. And these planes not only look beautiful, but they build great and they fly even better. So that's going to be the first plane that's made for exclusively the 2814 motor.
Mhm.
And I think we talked about the 2814 motor
Last
week, but
yeah.
any of these stubby-nosed warbirds or primary trainers or just from that genre, even the biplanes from World War One, they need a tremendous amount of nose weight. Not necessarily a lot of power, but nose weight. Well, John's warbirds also kind of need the power. So the benefit of the 2814 is it's a low profile, and that is the only motor that can go on it. If you put a C motor on there, it simply will not balance, and you'll have to add so much nose weight on there, it'll just be too heavy.
And you've got to fly so fast, probably to keep it in the air.
Yeah, and it looks right. And you put a 4-cell on this thing. We were flying the one prototype with the 2814, and it was so humorous. I mean, I fly scale. I like cruising around, but when you put the coals to it and you're going vertical already, and then you go full throttle and it's accelerating vertical, it was cool. So yeah, it's like a primary trainer on high test.
On high
Just say it
test.
that. Yeah, say it that way.
It's like putting a Corvette motor in a
In a
Volkswagen.
Little tiny TJ Jeep, maybe.
Ooh,
Ooh.
yeah. Hey, if anybody out there has or knows of somebody who's selling a Jeep Wrangler TJ, it's this guy right here.
Lee Bangers
I'm-
wants it like right now.
Well, I'm looking not. I don't want your junk. I'm looking for a nice, decent one because my vehicle right now is.
Is on its last leg.
She's a huffing and a puffing.
Right.
Stefan was with me the other day coming back from Grinders. We almost didn't make it up the hill.
Yes, we had a trying time. The rendezvous.
The Vuits.
The
Vuits.
Vuits.
The
Yes,
Vuits.
I had to go back. I have not gotten to mess around with the Texan yet, but I would like to.
Oh, it's beautiful.
I'd like to fly a
The
little bit.
wheel well detail on it is just incredible.
Yeah.
How John designed the wheel wells because one of the most iconic things on the Texan is when the landing gear folds up, it folds into the middle, and you have the two tires kind of bumped out ahead of the leading edge.
Mm.
That's what made it such a great primary trainer, is just the awesome stance it had, similar to a P47. But when the wheels fold up, there's just like these little domes. Well, the easy thing to do would be to not show that detail.
Mm.
That's not John.
Nope.
And,
John's about the details.
Yeah. So, and then the wing loading and everything, it just makes a beautiful flying airplane. So sometimes Texans are just a little bit unsquirrely when you scale them down. This thing is just rock solid.
That's awesome.
So
Well, I look forward to
yeah.
messing around with it.
it really just, man, how do you express how grateful I feel right now? Just thinking
Yeah.
about the future of where things are going.
We've had last couple weeks have been pretty, trying in a
Last
good
month.
way. Yeah,
Yeah.
last month. I mean, just all the things that we're doing, and we're talking about the future and
Yeah.
how we're, the direction of what we're going, and these new planes coming out. And I mean, this is the Tudor's the first plane that you have designed and released,
Since the Simple Stick.
and that's been
Yeah.
quite some time.
Lots of designs for content, but not for the main channel,
Right,
or
right.
for release, I should
Like
say.
the store, yeah.
And you really lit that fire again, and Stefan fanned it, fanned the flame.
Fanned it.
Wow, blah 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 blah. I'm grateful, but and here's the thing: it is, I think, really important for people to focus on the good things and
Yeah.
what they're grateful for, and condition their heart to always seek out which is good, which is. I think there's a Bible verse around that.
Yeah, it was good
But
and right and pure, and
Yeah, you focus on the ugly in the world. I promise you're going to find it. You're going to find a lot of it. More now, I think, than ever.
Just turn on the TV.
Just turn on the TV, and
you'll find it.
what I feel blessed about right now is I'm surrounded by just dear friends. We all have a mutual love for each other, a mutual love for why we show up to work every day. We love each other's family, and to get to be in that environment every day, it really, it is really a blessing. I think that most people don't have.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
So I'm grateful for that, and then to do what we do together. Silly foam board airplanes, but the why is just. I've been hit like a ton of bricks this past week.
Yeah.
Especially going through a lot of the ugly with government stuff. It's like, wait a minute, step back.
Yeah.
What does God bless us with?
Right.
A whole bunch.
And we've
So,
got we've got a whole bunch of people out here that are waiting to come out and for us to
it's
come out.
5:20.
Yeah. So
We'll unload a box of foam tomorrow.
yeah.
Priorities. Hey, by the way, I remember to charge the batteries.
You did.
I did.
Good man.
Yep.
Awesome.
Tudor shall be released.
We will be releasing the Tudor. So any final words of wisdom?
Oh, wisdom.
Anything.
Man.
I mean, we just so we like parting ways here.
It's a great question.
Embrace the Tudor.
You waited too long, Stefan. You had that moment, but he took it there again.
And I should have just not let him do it.
We've got the. Have you done a Tudor with smoke yet? Called the crop duster.
We do have a Bombay called the Toot Shoot.
We do have a Toot Shoot that you'll be seeing.
Free STLs coming soon.
Trust us, they've thought of everything.
No, I'm excited. You know what? Yeah, here's some words of wisdom. Holidays are coming.
Yep.
Cold weather's coming.
Mm-hmm.
Less sunshine's coming. Focus on loving people.
Oh, yeah.
That people need to be loved, and also when you love on people, serve people, it's going to make you happier too.
Yeah.
It's
better to serve
than
to be served. I heard someone say that one time.
On that note, I have a little side story. So I'm a sports guy, so like I keep up on the sports side of things quite heavily. And most of you probably have heard of the Ohio State University. Our good friend Andrus Liu is currently enrolled there and doing great things. But if you've ever heard of LSU, obviously you've heard of their football team. Just a couple weeks ago, and this goes back to this. I can't handle this guy. I can't handle this guy. I can't do it.
I got it.
Go ahead. No, please do.
Okay, it's America could use some toilet humor to loosen things up a little.
Oh my God. See, this is what I was afraid of, Lee. This is what I was afraid of. It's not happening in my life.
You were getting all serious.
I was about to impart some music. Oh man.
Right,
anyways,
composure.
so
Give it to us.
a couple weeks ago, OSU lost to Oregon in one of their football games. Big deal, etc. Their defensive coordinator, his play calling abilities were taken from him. So the head coach made a call and said, "Hey, you currently are not going to be calling those plays. This guy will from here on out for the time being."
Mm-hmm.
It was a really tough time in his life. I read through some different things. He said it was essentially one of the hardest things in his professional career that he's ever had to deal with. But then he kind of changes gears because you're reading this article and you're not sure where it's going to go. And he goes totally opposite direction than most people. He says, "Listen, if I had an issue with what the coach did in that moment, knowing that he's looking at the team as a whole, then why am I there? Why am I here? What am I doing? I'm at that point, I'm a fraud anyways, because it's all about me." Right.
Right.
And so he go on into the story and he says, I wake up every morning blessed to do what I do, to be around these kids. And my job is, yes, it used to be called plays, but at the moment, my job is to wake up every morning, walk into that facility and greet every single person with a smile, a handshake, a hug, and to get them to where they need to be every single day so that they can perform at their best level. And that next game or two games later, Ryan Day, who's the coach, presented the game ball, right, to the most outstanding individual of the team that week. And it was this assistant coach, the defensive coordinator. And he was blown away. He's like, well, why is this coming to me? It's like, well, all of these things that you just mentioned, this is why this game ball is going to you, right? And so, like, it just reminds me of, like, what we were just talking there at the end there, is that at the end of the day, like, we have a job to do. You got to love people. Yeah. You got to do what's right by people. And at the end of the day, not only are you going to be blessed, but more importantly, you're going to bless others while you're doing it. So
while you were saying, I got chills, man. Because that's what we do. Each one of us here has a different role inside of this company. And, if Stefan didn't do what he does, and if you don't do what you do, and if I don't do it, things wouldn't operate like they are. And that's just, we got to embrace it. I love that.
Yeah. It's like I said, it just reminded me, and just something to kind of think about as, like you said, you go into this non-sunny season,
right?
Where people are feeling a little bit more down, and continue to think about yourself and take care of yourself. That's not what we're saying here, but also take care of others, right?
Yeah.
And if you need to, put yourself out there and make someone's day.
Yeah.
Love it.
Good word. I think that's a good one to end on.
I think so too.
All right. We will talk to you all next week. And until then,
love you guys.
Love you. Buy a Tudor, a Texan, and
go watch the video tomorrow when it drops.
Yes. All right. Till then, we'll see you.
See you guys.
Love it.